wanted to get a status on your guys from inventory report, and I see about 20 minutes on suit drying, and just wanted to check in.
Yep, we're tracking about 20 minutes on suit drying as well. You've got 1.5 of us changed, and then the other 2 are doing the inventory and packing right now, and we'll get you the water and feed inventory soon.
Okay, SpaceX copies all.
So as a readback, you can hear the crew inside Dragon speaking with the core that's over at SpaceX's Mission Control in Hawthorne, California. The crew on the other side of the Dragon hatch does have some procedures to go through. You heard they have some time on the suit drying, and then they have additional procedures ahead of them before they open up their hatch.
Dragon SpaceX on Dragon to ground.
Kirill, I've got you 5x5 on Dragon to ground, and I am ready to copy the inventory report.
Yes, all right. That's what I'm calling for. So we had water from station 11 and 12. From 202 we had 5 bottles. Them. For 203, 5 bottles. For back 204, 4 bottles.
Okay, I copy bag 202 and 203 were 5 bottles each, and 204 was 4 bottles.
Affirm. Now let's go through food consumption. We went through all our supplies for the day 1. So bags 301, 302, 303, 304 are empty.
I copy. 301 through 304 are all empty.
Affirm.
In Houston, we're up to step 4.9. Station's ready for Dragon hatch equalization.
Houston copies.
This is Mission Control Houston, continuing to work through the hatch opening procedures. Outside of some of the channels that we patched through, that's part of the big loop communications. You could hear Sunita Williams and Don Pettit use a microphone to set up for the welcome ceremony that will be occurring shortly after Dragon hatch is opened. Once again, the 8-pass hatch is opened. You can see the crew in the back has been configuring the hatch. Once it's opened, they scan the area for any FOD or foreign object debris, and they photograph some of the area. That was some of the flashes you were seeing. Those images are downlinked to teams here on the ground, engineers that analyze and make sure that everything's safe. As precautionary measures, they detach the docking target. That's an extended pole that sticks out from the center of the 8-pass hatch on the other side. That was used as literally the target that we saw as Dragon was approaching the forward hatch. So that was removed. The hatch itself is covered with some fabric. All of these safety measures to protect the crew as they ingress into the International Space Station and again are greeted by the Expedition 72 crew. Now on the other side of the hatch, the Dragon crew has their own set of procedures, while the station crew is focused on ensuring that hatch opening procedures are underway. They go through those step-by-step written procedures that have been directed and sent up to them from the ground to make sure they're doing everything safely. The same thing is happening on the Dragon side. The teams in Hawthorne, SpaceX teams, are walking the Dragon crew through their closeout procedures. They have to dry their suits. They have to change into their garments that they'll wear for the welcome ceremony, similar to, polos and attire that you see here. We'll see the Dragon crew wearing, ideally, something similar, and they'll.
Dragon on the big loop.
Go ahead for Dragon on the big loop.
Hey, can you open your cover to the hatch window cover?
Stand by. Give us about 2 to 3 minutes.
Okay.
The excitement in the International Space Station is real. Sunita Williams. Over the big loop, again, the big loop configures the audio channels such that the crew inside the station can communicate directly with the crew inside Dragon. At the same time, those audio loops are patched through to control centers here in Houston, as well as the SpaceX Mission Control in Hawthorne, California. Everybody can talk on this loop. Sunita Williams, of course, eager to greet Crew 10 and welcome them aboard. As we mentioned, Dragon, the SpaceX teams are walking the Dragon crew through their closeout procedures. Again, there's that little window that they can see through. Expedition 72 very eager to see 4 new crewmates and welcome them to the Expedition 72. When they enter and start their formal welcome ceremony, we will see all Expedition 72 astronauts and cosmonauts in this view that you're seeing right now. There will be 11 crew members aboard the International Space Station at the same time. This is Mission Control Houston. You're getting a live view from inside the International Space Station. Now, we get these incremental handover periods as the International Space Station orbits 17,500 miles per hour over the Earth. They are communicating with several geosynchronous satellites that are positioned also around the Earth and have to point the antenna in a certain way. So these handovers are anticipated as we hand over from satellite to satellite. Nick Hague and many of the other astronauts, of course, working through, eagerly awaiting to greet the Crew 10 astronauts. You saw the mask that Hague was donning. That is still Hague. He and the other crew members are working through the procedures. Though they are quite excited, you can hear the tone of the crew on board.
Go ahead on the big loop.
Okay, we are complete through section 5 of 4.400 and ready for hatch equalization. And then for 4.012, we're tracking 42 minutes of suit dry time in section 5.
And copy Dragon, standby 1. And Dragon SpaceX on the big loop. At this time, you guys are go for hatch opening per decal, followed by your remaining actions in section 6 of 4.400.
Dragon copies, go for Dragon forward hatch and then remaining steps in section 6.
Good readback.
So you heard that call on the big loop. Crew inside Endurance is getting ready to open up that hatch. Of course, the crew Expedition 72 crew has gone through their procedures to safely open up the hatch. You saw a couple of photographs. You see in frame there on the bottom left, Yvonne Wagner doing some closeout photography, as well as a few of the other Expedition 72 crew. Now it's up to the Crew 10 cadre to open up the Dragon hatch. Once that hatch is open, all hatches between the two spacecraft will be open and Crew 10 will be able to float through. Now, oftentimes, there has been a gap in time from when the Dragon hatch is open to when we actually see the crew float through. It will be at the crew's discretion and the timeline that they have with the Hawthorne teams on some of the closeout procedures that are necessary inside the Dragon cabin before they can say yea verily that they can float through and be welcomed, start the ceremony. So we'll just stand by, listen in, see how they're doing, and follow along. We're continuing our nonstop coverage of Crew 10's arrival aboard the International Space Station ahead of a formal welcome ceremony as Crew 10 joins Expedition 72.
SpaceX Dragon, hatch is open.
SpaceX copies, hatch open at 0535 UTC.
And there it is, confirmation that the Dragon hatch is open. That time of hatch opening is 12:35 a.m. Central Time on March 16th, 2025.
Dragon on the big loop.
Go ahead, talk.
We are in step 6.1 of the procedure 2.102 Crew Dragon ISS and IMV that's installation complete, and you guys go for IMV fan activation.
Houston copies.
And Houston Dragon, do we have a go for LIO cartridge config?
Checking.
Standing by for words from Expedition 72. You see the bell in position that will be rung. Audio will be streamed down of the bell welcoming the crew. More Expedition 72 members coming through.
Houston, you are go in step 6.3.
Copy, go for step 6.3.
And Dragon SpaceX on the big loop, be advised that S-band will be deactivated shortly. Dragon to ground will no longer be available for comm.
Dragon, copy. SpaceX Dragon on the big loop for LIO.
Go ahead for LIO.
Hey, the LIO cartridge is sealed and installed. LIO cartridge 1 is now in active slot with the field.
We copy. LIO cartridge 1 is sealed and installed in the active slot at approximately 0542 UTC.
That's good, copy.
Crew 10 mission specialist Takuya Onishi confirming some of the closeout procedures. There is a reason why we are waiting for Crew 10 to enter the International Space Station. They do have very important closeout duties inside Endurance. Those lithium hydroxide canisters are consumable carbon dioxide scrubbers inside the cabin of Dragon. So they do want to conserve those carbon dioxide scrubbers, and so before entering the International Space Station, they do want to make sure they conserve the LIO cartridges as much as possible. So that is a very important closeout duty that they have aboard Dragon before they enter. But it seems like we do have the first Crew 10 Onishi, the first Crew 10 astronaut through the hatch, followed by Peskov, Nicole Ayers, the first of the Fly's newest class of astronauts to enter, and last commander of Crew 10, Anne McLean.
SpaceX Crew 10, welcome aboard the ISS.
Well, hey, everybody down there on Earth.
You're not hot on the mic. I know. Is the receiver?
Oh, yeah, we're on.
Okay, got it. Okay.
All right,
They changed at the last minute.
Got it.
Thought I lost my touch there for a sec. Hey, Crew 10 has had a great journey up here, about 28 hours to get back up to the space station, and I cannot tell you the immense joy of our crew when we looked out the window and we saw the space station for the first time. Returning for a couple of people, very first time for a couple of people. And let me tell you, that is such an amazing journey. You can hardly even put it into words. The ride up on the Falcon 9, orbiting the Earth for the last couple of days, it's been absolutely incredible, and it is something that none of us could do by ourselves. As we've said before, you cannot be great without the greatness of others, and I tell you, the greatness of the ground control teams have really shined through in the last few days getting us up here safely. Thank you very, very much.
Hey, from the bottom of my heart, thanks to our families, friends, and our colleagues from all the partners, SpaceX, NASA, CSA, ESA, Roscosmos, and JAXA for preparing us and making it possible for us to get here. And we are so excited to now be officially part of the Expedition 72. Thank you guys. And I want to say a couple of words in Japanese from here. 日本の皆さん応援ありがとうございました。元気にここまで ISS まで帰ってくることができました。明日からまた、一生懸命、希望でのサイエンス等を含めていろんなタスクを頑張っていきたいと思います。ぜひ応援よろしくお願いします。
Okay, thank you. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot one more time to SpaceX and NASA for this wonderful ride. That was really fun. And thanks to all the world's aerospace industry, which works to make the dreams to come true and to take us further and further. That's really wonderful. Thanks to everyone working there. И спасибо, конечно же, отдельно это Роскосмосу и Центру подготовки космонавтов за знания и опыт, которые привели меня сюда. Будем работать славно, работать дружно во имя, во благо всего человечества. Передаю микрофон. Потерялся.
I'd like to just say again, thank you to SpaceX for the awesome ride up here. As a rookie, that was one of the coolest things I've ever done, and I can't wait to get to work up here. So excited for the 4 pilots and us that just got to get to space together, and now we're 4 astronauts together. So thank you to all of our friends and families, and thank you to all of the instructors and all of the ground teams who got us here. Can't wait to get started.
And Houston, thank you for tuning in this early morning. It was a wonderful day. Great to see our friends arrive. So thank you so much.
Thanks to all participants. Station, we're now resuming operational audio comm.
Now, with that, we did hear the welcome ceremony. We saw all 11 crew members of Expedition 72 very happy and excited to be aboard. It'll be they'll now go into right now is what they're scheduled to do is just have some time to chat with each other before a formal safety briefing, just getting to know a refresher really of the safety procedures aboard the International Space Station before they transition into some work, including transferring some cargo before heading right to sleep for the Crew 10 crew. There's going to be some shifting involved and a handover period before Crew 9 undocks, and we'll expect more information on that timeline very soon. But for now, we do have all 4 crew members of Crew 10 on board the International Space Station. That includes Commander Anne McClain, pilot Nicole Ayers, both from NASA, and mission specialist Takuya Onishi from JAXA, and Kirill Peskov from Roscosmos. All 4 crew members join Expedition 72, now 11 crew members on board. After the welcome ceremony and the work done by the teams here in Mission Control Houston, the live view from what you're seeing, will now wrap up our coverage of the approach and docking of Crew 10 to the International Space Station.